Oh, my mic wasn't muted that whole time, huh? Hi, everybody. You guys got to listen to me walk through the house. Hi. How's it going, beautiful beings? Good morning or good time of day to wherever you are. Hi, Potato. Hi, Felds. Good to see you. Let's go here. Let's deselect that so that it's not fucking distracting. Hi, everybody. How we doing? I don't have the wheel going today. I've removed the redeem and everything. So my camera is actually moving with me today. That will be nice after last time. Y'all can blame me being late on Sleepy. I started talking to Sleepy and didn't realize what time it was. And all of a sudden it was 10:27. I was like, ah, shit. I was supposed to be doing something. I also started a task, like, it was gonna take more time than I really had, because I've got that ADHD. Oh, I got plenty of time. Hi, Grim. I will do stretching. Hey, other alerts, you wanna go? Okay, there we go. Just a little slow today. Which is fair. I guess I was slow too. I can't judge.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Alright, I have done a stretchy. I have taken a sippy. Something nice about myself. This may be a repeat of one I've said before, but it has again come to light, I guess. I've gotten way better at communicating in a way that's not accusatory, which is a learned skill, and one that I didn't have for a very long time. So I've gotten a lot better at that, where I can actually express my feelings, which again is a thing that's learned, especially if you grew up in an area where your emotions were not considered valid. And so I can actually identify my own feelings and talk about them without making it sound like I'm accusing somebody of making me feel that, because that's not really how that works. I hope you're doing well, Grim. Oh, I forgot to do something, actually. Let me do that now, before I forgot again. Can I do it through here? Will that work? I think it will. As I think... Oh no, it's all good. Okay, never mind. I don't need to do the thing, it's fine. Yeah, that's fair, Grim. I'm glad that you persist, though. Because my life is better for having you in it. And we did make a spite pact. So you aren't allowed to quit unless I'm allowed to quit. You like it. Okay. We have some work to do today, which is the point of streaming. Thank you, Little Miss Obvious. I do think I like the fur better having come back to it. Which I think is part of the good thing about taking a day off of streaming, like doing the 3 streams and having a day off in between, is that a lot of times I get overly focused on what I'm doing and I can't see the art for what it is. And I need to step away for a little bit and not think about it and then come back to it. So I think the fur texture is actually pretty good. I was worried about the directionality of some of these brush strokes, but I think it's fine. I think I was freaking out over something that didn't need to be freaked out about. I say freaked out, that's more intense than what was actually happening. But I do think I need to add more fur texture to this arm. We also need to work on our beans here, our little toe beans. I need to figure out what colors I want to do for the claws. And then I think we start working on the bubbles, probably. I considered adding more darkness down here to kind of give more depth to the water, but I don't know that that's actually necessary. We'll see what I think when I get the toe beans and stuff done, because that will be like more completed as the painting. So if I decide that it needs more back there, I can do that. Hi, Diavra. Good to see you. I did catch like the last 3 minutes of I's stream today, because I start so much earlier on Fridays, and even though I get up early on Fridays so I can stream, I still only catch the tail end of it really. I did do a Lurksy there, and Carolyn Designs too, who I enjoy, but is in a very different time zone than me, so streams when I can't really make it a lot of the time. Thank you, Diavra. You're so sweet. Oh yeah, that's fair, Grim. For a while I didn't have like any alerts turned on for people because I was feeling overwhelmed. But I mentioned this last time. I cut some stuff out of my life that I thought was probably stressing me out and making me more prone to overstim, and I was correct in this matter. So I've been able to turn alerts back on for a lot of people without feeling overwhelmed, which is really nice, because then I can actually like catch people that I care about, and it reminds me to actually look. But I started paying for Twitch Turbo just because I have so many stream friends and I can't sub to all of them. I forgot to put my phone in streaming mode. So I just got distracted. But that does mean that I've asked a few of my streamers if they would rather have a sub point or have the revenue from Twitch Turbo and I give them money through Ko-fi or Patreon. Because like different streamers have different goals. Sometimes the money is more helpful. Sometimes you're going for like a certain goal for like emotes or getting like game deal or something, a promo with some business that looks at those numbers. So I ask, but I have been lurking more so that I can spread out the turbo money a bit. And I do think that I am getting more money out of that to my streamers than I'm paying a month, which is nice. Also, I'm not going to forget to say it this time, I did pin it immediately. But I have a sale going for the rest of the month. 10% off. It says anything in my shop. It's really everything in my shop. You get 10% off your whole order. And I don't know why I'm holding these like chopsticks, but I am. So you could get some cool Pride merch. Hopefully, I will be releasing a new Pride line around my Tipathon time, which would be the 23rd of this month. But we'll see if I can manage to get that done. Ooh, I know what I forgot to bring out. I forgot to bring out my iPad with my reference image on it. Okay, you guys are going to get to listen to me walk through the house again. I love that I forgot to mute my mic this morning. That was, I guess, of the times to do it, that was fine because I was just sitting there silently anyway. Okay, iPad, where is he? There he is. Okay. I didn't sleep particularly well because it was too hot in my room. And the options there are to either sleep too hot, which means I don't sleep well, or sleep with the window open, which also means I don't sleep well. So, there you go. Okay. Getting set up here. Yeah. You always get less sleep than me, Grim. Like, legitimately. Hey, I would help if you put in the right passcode. There we go. Okay. Oh, I told you guys I got that commission. I showed you guys where it was partially last time, did I not? I think. Yeah, that's gross, Grim. I'm sorry. Man, I went to set my alarm last night because I used a different alarm for Wednesday because it's not like I need to get up much earlier than I would naturally get up, so it's like an end emergency alarm. But I set my actual like side clock alarm for today, and I went to do it, and it's always at the same time. And I went to do it, and I was like, why does it say 4:15 in the morning? Hi, stars! And that's because that's when I had to wake up for surgery. I was like, what's 4:15? What's 4:15? It's usually at 8:15. I had to get up that early for surgery. But I did have I was kind of freaking out a little bit about a commission last time I talked to you guys because it had a bit of a quick deadline. But I did finish that, if you guys want to see. It's got like my logo and proof over it because it is a proof. But it's basically like a bid for the accounting club to use. So I'm one of a couple artists that they're looking at. But I'm pretty pleased with how this came out, honestly, and how fast I banged it out. Because I got the design finalized, like, without having done the color and shading and stuff, but I got the design finalized, like, the day that I learned that it was a thing. So I was very pleased with myself. Now I can get back to working on my mushies. I'm doing those pride mushrooms, and I only have 3 left. So hopefully I can get those done. I've already started one. So hopefully I can get those 3 done, and then I can start printing those, and we'll be set to go. I do want to have those available when I do my affiliate anniversary. I was considering like releasing one of each design as we go through the tipathon, so like having certain goals, but I decided I don't like that idea. I don't want to lock somebody's pride flag behind a monetary goal. That feels gross to me. And also it would make things harder for me on the back side of things. So we won't be doing that. But I should be able to get those done and printed. I believe in myself. That's going to be my next week goal. Oh, speaking of, I know Doodle and I have been planning to do like a co-working time. I'm thinking tomorrow, which is my usual like sit and do background work all day time, I'm probably going to get in voice chat in the Discord, in Stars and Eyes Discord tomorrow, and just hang out there so that people can like body double with me if they need to. I might like put on a documentary or something in the background because that's what I usually do. So I might put up a documentary and screen share, and we can hang out, or you can just watch the documentary, or we can, I don't know, co-work and stuff. Because I'm probably going to be working on those mushrooms, and I wonder if I would be able to screen share me setting up the sticker sheet. That sticker program is always a little fussy about how much CPU it takes, so I don't know that would work. But I could try it. I don't know if that's of interest to anybody. Or we could just hang out and co-work. I did. Thank you, Stars. And hi, Shani. It's good to see you. Thank you. Okay. I said the sale. I said the co-working. Did I forget anything else? I mean, I forgot to pull up my reference image, which was the whole point of me getting my iPad, but you know. That's fine. Oh, maybe one of my goals could be revealing my D&D character for you guys. She's not completely solidified, but I do have a drawing of her started. Okay, Grim, now do you. But where did I? There you go. Yeah, I don't think the actual brush side would be good as chopsticks. I do think that if I use this side, it would be okay for chopsticks, because they do have like an angled, they come to a point. So I think if I like did something like this, it would be okay chopsticks. I mean, still not as good as regular chopsticks, but it wouldn't be that bad. Okay. Spraying the palette. I love that I keep buying hair things to use on my hair, and then I just use them for art instead. So like that spray bottle, I got to refresh my curly hair in between washes. I don't do that. I'm too lazy. And then the hair dryer that I got, I really use for art and not my hair. I love you too, Sleepy. Have good lurk. I know you're at work, so don't worry about it. I don't think you are worried about it, but I will tell you not to worry about it anyway. Okay. I think I need to do like smaller strokes here to make it feel more hairy. Oh, you don't? Okay, Sleepy. Oh, wait, you have a thing to get ready for, too, I guess. I wish that was you too, Graham, honestly. You deserve more of your own time. Yeah. Although, to be fair, running the things is fun for you. So it's not entirely work, you know? It is still work, but a little bit different. Yeah, exactly. It's like when I do fan art for my friends. I still take work, but it's work that I'm willing to do because I care about people. Thank you, Shawnee. Oh, actually, Sleepy and Potato are doing a collab tonight. They're gonna be playing Stardew. That's been announced from a number of people. I believe, I don't know if this is officially announced actually, so I won't say it, but there is going to be another person involved. I believe. But I won't spoil that just in case. But I'm not supposed to know. I did also add a potato command, so if you do !potato, it'll be a little command for potatoes. I did that yesterday. They did ask BP and Sleepy's opinions on it. I did add something that BP suggested because it was a really good suggestion. Okay. Moving along. It does look more like fur, but I don't know that I like it better. Oh yeah, totally fair, Shawnee. Fruit punch. I'm not a big fruit punch fan, but love a little drinky drink when it's summer, you know? I don't know if I want to add more anything to the paw. You can still pretty clearly see the purple through it that I did for the underpainting, but I don't think that's bad. I think that might be a vibe. I was saying I think we should do a wash over the full otter. I still think that's a good idea. But that's not a right now. That's a later. Well, maybe it is a right now if I want to do the beans after that. Oh, that sounds good too, Grim. Even if it was a crime against your wife. Yeah, that's fair, Shawnee. A lot easier to do if it tastes good. We have a bunch of like old, really old fruit drinks and stuff in our pantry that I probably need to get rid of. Actually, they're probably like way past expired. Because we got them when my friend passed away. Because he was also a big, fun little drinky person.
Now, here comes the music.
No, you're not, Grim. Do you think maybe I want to do, like, right here is one of the, like, darker areas. I'm gonna add a little bit more intense shadow there. And then right here, too. And it's going to be even hotter today. Because, okay, so I've told you guys that my room gets like really hot, hotter than outside. So yesterday our high, like it was 65 degrees outside. Not bad, right? My room got to 80 degrees. Today it's supposed to be 70 degrees outside. I might die. So wild. This house is like not really good for any weather. It's not insulated enough to like really be warm during winter. Part of that is our old windows, and it's like just insulated enough to be hell during summer. Like pick one. Okay, I do think that I've ended up changing the arm shape a little bit. Because I do have like a line going there, but I've got more of a line coming out here where his shoulder is. So I think I'm gonna mess with that a little bit and see if I can like bring this out a bit. Alright. I do think that's already better. Okay. I'm tilting this up so that I can actually see it from the correct angle. That does look a little messy in person, but it seems okay. Now, I need to do a little bit more like blending these textures together, but I think that's doable. I think probably doing like the titanium buff for the claws, and maybe warm gray with orange for the shadow. But that's at a later date. I think I do want to add more blue to the bottom, which I have done once already, but we're going to do it again. I do need to add more Prussian blue to the palette. I remember that. Oh, cool. First one I pulled out. I do think at some point I need to change what colors I have in my palette. Is colors that I use on a regular basis have changed a little bit. I also bought a new black that I think I like better than the one that I'm currently using. Because the one that I'm using now, like, has really bad granulation, which can be really cool. It makes a nice texture, but that isn't always good when you're trying to do shading. What paintbrush do I want to use for that? For this guy. What I really need is like 7 of these watercolor palettes so that I can have everything all the time. Have it there, I'm ready. I think if I don't make this too wet, I'm not gonna completely lose the blooms that we have going here. We do have a lot of nice blooms up top though, so I'm not super concerned about it. But I do enjoy when a water has a water bloom. Maybe doing Prussian blue and then another layer of the Salish Sea down here will be good. Because that is, like, theoretically the color that's featured in this painting. There is, like, a lot of background, so it makes sense to have that be, like, the focus, but I do think that adding more blue might, like, lose that vibe a little bit. So we'll probably add another layer of that over top. Color, there we go. The beginning of this one always makes me think of the Eureka theme song. Okay, I do like that better. I'll let that dry a little bit and then go over it again with the Salish Sea color. And I do need to let that dry before I do a wash on the otter as well, otherwise the pigments are going to bleed into each other. I think I could also work on making this line between the water and the otter a lot clearer. It's pretty muddy right now. Which maybe I'll do some of that right now. That looks like really dark on camera, but it's not as dark in person. I have too much stuff. I guess if I'm happy with the top, I could start peeling some of this masking fluid off, like the ones that are just in the water. I can do that. And I'm breaking out so bad on my face today. I don't like it. I do have a thing that helps peel masking fluid off, but I think my finger's gonna work just fine. Which is what she said. Maybe what they said, I don't know. Could also be what he said. Inclusive sex jokes. Man, I was talking to Sleepy and my phone kept auto-correcting neopronouns into they. It was driving me freaking nuts. Because I was gendering this person correctly and autocorrect was like, actually no. Okay, I think this one can come up and that one should stay there. I think I can start working on these bubbles while I'm waiting for the bottom to dry a bit. And that will go fine. Oh, I can do this one too, actually. Yeah, I know. I kept cursing autocorrect about it. I feel like no matter where I set this painting, because it's so big, I cannot get all of it on screen at once for you guys without like getting rid of chat and my PNG tuber. So like, forgive me for that. If I'm working someplace where you can't see, you are allowed to like yell at me about it. If I'm doing something you can't see, you can tell me to move it. That's an acceptable reason. I think we should also bring out our son Leon for a second here to, like, again, you guys can't see that, to sweep up all of this extra latex. And really just get some of the dust off of here. Wild concept, but if you don't use your desk for 3 weeks, it gets dusty. Thank you, Leon. You're a star. Okay. I'm just gonna turn my reference upside down, and that's gonna make this easier since my painting is upside down at the moment. Okay. Yee, our boy is hungry. I haven't been like sketching as much out here, which means that I don't have as much eraser dust for him to eat. I've been doing like more digital stuff lately, or just doing like not erasing pencil lines, which means that there's nothing for him to eat. He's starving. Yeah, Leon does deserve Happy Pride because he came with a strap-on, actually. Leon is the stone top that we all deserve. Actually, I want a smaller brush than that, I think. Well, maybe this one and then we'll graduate. Yeah, I don't think I actually have any glitter in the house. Glitter is, well, unless it's fallen off of a, like, greeting card that somebody sent me. Because I think that's, like, the only time that I ever have glitter. Well, glitter that's not stuck onto something, I guess, is the other. I love that for you, Shawnee. That's awesome. Yeah, I just don't really use it much. Or I wouldn't, well, I wouldn't use it much if I had it in the house. I clearly don't use it much since I don't have it in the house. Okay, so kind of, what shape are you? Kind of like this, and then we have a little bit of a darker line right there. There's like an air bubble in an air bubble right there. There we go, kind of like this. I have like a lighter there. And then that makes sense, Shawnee. I remember that. I forgot about that entirely until you just said that. And I think actually I need to pull out one of my new greens for this. So we've got like a very much darker kind of piney green going through here, which means you guys get to laugh at the name of this green because it's Hooker's green and we can all go hee hee ha ha about it. Where is it? Is the next question. Here it is. Right there. I don't need much of you at the moment. Thank you, Hooker. There's just the guy's name who made Hooker green. In case anybody wanted to know. Oh yeah, that's sweet, Shawnee. I mean, breaking news, Shawnee was sweet. Nobody expected this. I need to let this dry a little bit before I really can put that where I want it.
It's so quiet, oh my God. You know I do like that look in your eyes. Talk so loud, shut your mouth. You're on the
Maybe we'll use Hooker's green as part of the shading for the rest of these. I like that. I may go back and make this not be pure white. I don't know. I'll have to see it. I think I need to see it right side up before I make that decision. But for the most part, I think mixing some Hooker's green with some stylish is the way to go here. That is about the shading color that we have here. Me trying to figure out what all my various lines mean. Okay. I think doing the green underneath and then adding a little bit of gray once that's dry is gonna be the best bet. I know it doesn't look very different, but I promise that it is different. And I may end up using this entire keystone of Salish Sea for this one. Well, I guess not just this one painting, because I did 2 other paintings with it, but I might end up using it for just this color of the month, because I've worked a really good hole into the middle of it. We love a good hole. Thank you, Stars. I appreciate your support. That's great. This one's next. It has like a little butt shape in them. Those are a little butt bubble, a bubble butt, if you will. And I need to let that dry before I do more of the shading on that one. Bubbles are so weird. Like, the way they refract light makes no frickin' sense. That's that one, that's that one. This is you. Okay. It's like, I don't know what it is. Bubbles are like, the colors are very simple, but because of how sharp some of the shadow is and how, like, dispersed some of the shadow is, it gets, like, wild. I don't get it. I do not get it. Maybe what I really need to do is just find a reference image of just bubbles. And then I can sit here and suffer through a million different bubbles and you guys can watch me slowly lose my mind. I say as if I haven't already lost my mind. I don't think I started with one, honestly. Well, I'm also this is tangentially related, I guess. I'm really close to finishing my complex PTSD book, which is good. I think I can finish it this weekend. But it made me cry last night, in a good way, not a bad way. Unlike when it triggered me the other day. Which, it's not the book's fault, it's my fault. I mean, really, it's the people who traumatized me's fault. But I kind of delved into something when I shouldn't have. Which I talked about last time. This isn't a new piece of information for you guys. We already talked about it. Okay, this is this guy. But it was a very, well, I say was as if I finished it. It is a very good book. Like, because it's a difficult topic matter, not all of it is easy to read, but the author has done a very good job of, like, diffusing the tension with how she writes. So there was one, actually I sent a screenshot of it to Lib. There was one portion where she talked about how you shouldn't go into, like, delve into a therapy concept without somebody there to help you if you find, something in the closet. And she specifically used the example of a sewer clown, and Lib loves it. So I sent them that. And Liv's response obviously was, well, I dealt with mine by choosing to fuck it. Which, like, yeah, you sure did, buddy. Good work. Okay, so how do we have kind of like a this? Hi, Doodle! Have good lurk. Those commands only work if you put it at the front of your sentence. You might not be able to hear me because I'm pretty sure you're at work, but the bot only recognizes it at the front of the sentence. It doesn't read your sentences if you have not alerted it. Which I think, considering the way that our timeline is going, is probably really reassuring that the bot won't, like, read your entire thing, you know? Okay. You are far from the first person to have made that mistake. Which is why I already have a spiel ready, you know? Oh, do you guys want to hear how my last incision is healing up? Because I have news, but it's kind of gross in a good way. So if you don't want to hear it, I won't share. Yeah, sometimes it does, Shawnee. It'll depend on the code that's behind the lurk command. So if it does lurk and then says target instead of username, it will read whatever your message was instead of just pulling your username. And if it doesn't have a message, it will pull your username. So if you just say lurk and it has target, it will pick your username. I actually do understand the science behind that one. So I mentioned that my right incision, which is the one that has been being a pain, literally and figuratively. Yeah. So I have mine to set at username specifically. Yay, Shawnee's back. But my right incision, which was the one that was awful, had a scab the last time we talked. The scab is gone now. Not because I picked at it. I will also say I was very good, even though I'm a skin picker. But because it was at that stage where it was kind of peeling up on the edges, my pants caught it when I was getting undressed, like I was getting into my pajamas at the end of the day, and just ripped that thing clean off. So I don't have a full-on hole in my torso anymore, which is really nice. It's still got a little bit of like raw bit in the middle, but it's not like a huge ass scab anymore. So yeah, that's progress. We got there. Yay. Yeah, it's not that bad. I worked so hard at it, Tens. I am so bad at skin picking. Like, I am awful at it. I will pick anything. You give me a clean, fresh set of skin, I will pick a hole into that. But the only things I've been really good at with that are the surgery wounds and my tattoo when it was healing. Those are the only things I haven't picked at. Everything else is free game. Or fair game, I guess is the actual saying. Doesn't make that big of a difference. Okay, these are these guys. But yeah, so we're on the up and up, which is nice. Because, God, when the incision wound was being really bad, it gave me really bad dysmorphia. Which I already suffer from dysmorphia, which I've slowly been working on. We're getting better. But, like, feeling like a stranger in my body again was very bad for me. Like, we got through. I have better coping techniques and all that kind of stuff now, but it's still one of those things where it's like, ugh. It got to the point where I was like avoiding taking a shower because I didn't want to have to perceive myself. So I ended up doing something that I haven't had to do in over a decade, which was take a shower in the dark. Which was rough. That's not good for your brain. I mean, it's better than not showering, right? But it was not the funnest time for me. What was that sound? Hello? Did you guys hear that? Or was it my headphones? I guess is the next question. Did I say hi, Tens? I don't know. I responded to you, but I don't know if I said hi. I don't remember. Hi. Okay, that's probably my headphones just having a moment then. I just heard like a little like bug buzz electronic kind of sound. It was a little loud. Loud enough that I noticed, but not like painful. Okay. But if it's just my headphones, that's fine. I will say, we're in the season where my laptop struggles even more than normal, too. So I'm a little cautious. Because my laptop definitely performs worse when it's hot out, which, like, me too. I can't blame you. And I say hot, meaning hot for here. Because I know hot for here is not hot for other people. And I really changed the shapes of some of these guys, which is fine. But that is sure a thing that I did. Okay, that's all looking good. I'm probably going to go over with a gray for the really harsh lines, but I think adding the green makes it a little nicer. I just need to remember that's the color I used when we get to the other bubbles. I think we'll be fine. Okay. This please. As these three bigger bubbles have darker lines going. This one too, actually. Yeah, that slaps. Alright. Sometimes I'm aware of what I'm doing. Not always, but sometimes. I got funky little blobby shapes through here like this. Yeah, that's fair, Tens. And I would share my level of hot with everybody else if I could. Because that would take us back to, like, more normal temperatures for pretty much everywhere, I think. Because the climate should be a changing, you know? I need to pull out a smaller liner brush for some of these teeny tiny little guys. I think maybe I already have one out, actually. I do. Excellent. I actually think at some point we're going to need to get an AC unit for the house just because it gets so warm in the summer. You're so close to leaving. You can make it. I believe in you. I'm just going to say okay in a very soft voice repeatedly for this entire stream, so I hope that you guys are prepared. Sometimes that's just how the brain cookie crumbles. This one is kind of jelly bean shaped. I'm vibing with it. Yeah. I do have a nicer mic. I just don't, so I could do some ASMR sometime, but I don't have enough USB ports on my laptop to use that and the camera and the fan table that I have to keep my laptop from overheating. Some point. Because thanks to Mac, it only has C USB, and in order to actually use a USB translator is not the right word. Converter, it has to also have acceleration in it, and the one that I have only has 2 slots. And I haven't been able to find one that works for more, because that is, well, I haven't been able to find one for more that I can afford, I guess is a more accurate statement. Because technology be expensive. I don't know if you guys knew. But I do have like an actual Yeti microphone that my dad bought for me that I can't use without also having my laptop overheat or having you guys not be able to see what the heck I'm doing. That would be awesome, Tens. Honestly. I think there are a lot of streamers that should be doing some sort of ASMR or like an audiobook reading. Honestly. I definitely try to bully all of my friends into making me audiobooks. Just like being read to. Like, how good would like either an audiobook or like guided meditation with Matto's voice be? Like, how nice would that be? It would be great. Still a little sleepy. Yeah, I just like hearing people's voices. That's part. Okay, legitimately, the reason that I have a VOD channel on YouTube is in case anybody really likes my voice and wants to listen to it a bunch. Because I did that with other streamers who have like VOD channels. When I miss my streamer friends, like if they're busy or whatever, I will watch their old VODs just to hear them. Because I'm weird like that. Ah, that's so sweet, Shawnee. I love that. I do actually... Sorry, I dolphin jumped like 3 whole thoughts before I said my first one for you guys. I was gonna say, I have a couple YouTube channels that are private now, or YouTube videos that are private now of me reading one of my friends some like kids books that I really like, because she wasn't feeling well and was I don't know, it was just a thing to do because she kind of wanted me to read her a book, but we weren't like on call or anything. Oh, 100% Tens, 100%. Hi Bean, good to see you. Like, that has become like a quote-unquote normal thing now, being into werewolves. It's hit the mainstream. But there's one of them that's set to private right now that has me doing a really bad Southern accent. I say really bad. It's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. But it is me doing a Southern accent, which I'm not Southern. You know that. But I could actually set sharing that link as a tip-a-thon goal. I'm not sure that I would want to do these ones, but I also did, when I was in my 20s, I did a series of drunk baking videos a la Hannah Hart. Except obviously baking instead of cooking. Oh, I should cross that one off because that's not happening. What was the name of that book? I remember. But I could drop, like, share the link to some of those ones, maybe? Although, I don't know. I'm of 2 minds about it, because it is something that I did and it's funny. But also, I don't think that was a healthy thing for me to do. But I do think that I'm very funny. So, and you could also get the lore drop for the scar here that I've told you guys about that was shaped like a Dorito, because I got that during one of those. Which again, not a healthy or safe thing to do. But, you know, I guess I have some, because for a while, like right when I graduated college and I was still working at the bookstore, I did daily VODs, like daily video diary kind of situation. So I have a couple of those I could probably release if you guys want to see. That could be, instead of the drunk baking ones, that could be better maybe. Because I do really enjoy the Fuck It Friday one I made. Which it is Fuck It Friday today. Also, happy Friday the 13th, I guess. Oh, that's super fair, Tens. Yeah, I have never been to the South. At all. So, I think this isn't the South, but the farthest south in this country I have been is probably Arizona. I'm faking it. But there is actually on my regular YouTube channel, there is a video of me reading one of my favorite kids books, which I think explains a lot about me, that this was one of my favorite books. I picked this one out in a secondhand bookshop when I was, I think, 3. Very small, little small Katie, called Upright Hilda, which is kind of like, it was not a very popular book. It got pulled off of the market pretty fast because it was about death. But there is a video of me reading that on my regular, like, just the Tundra Katie Bean YouTube channel. Back when I was much younger. But it's about this lady who was very upright and kind of a hard ass, especially with her children, and then she dies, and her, thank you, Shawnee, I love you so much, her family can't afford a full burial plot, so they get one that's the right size to stand the coffin upright, and they bury her on her head. That's the whole point of the book. And that was one of my favorites when I was a wee bean. Which I feel like explains a little bit about me. I was a weird kid. I mean, I'm a weird adult too, but... BP! Hello. That's good, Tens. Yeah, there are plenty of good country folk. It's not all horror, you know? Okay. Yeah, I think those look like bubbles. I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with this one, but I do think that it's fairly accurate to what's in the reference photo. I do think that I want to add a little bit of gray along the outline though. Ah, I love that, BP. Here. Hello, bean friend. We got a few beans today, because Big Bean Supreme was in here earlier too. How you doing, Red Bean? Good to see ya. Okay. I don't know that that made me feel better about that bubble. Yeah, that's fair, BP. Like, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you need to, you know? Okay. You dry? Yes. Dry enough. Good, glad to hear it. Let's add some more Salish Sea to the bottom of our water here. Bring this back in. Yeah,
Go
I have.
piss. I mean, they. Yeah, go piss.
I will do that right after I finish this layer that I'm doing, DP. I'm so pleased Tomato did that. Yep. I will also take a sippy. I just need to do this whole squash at once, otherwise it makes weird lines on the edge. Yeah, there's our other bean. So many beans today. Yeah, we got the Bean Brigade. I did at one point. There was some reason why I decided not to do this, and I don't remember what it was anymore. But I had a list of jelly bean flavors. My plan was to do a command where you would put it in and it would give you a jelly bean flavor for the day. And for some reason I didn't do that, and I don't remember why. Actually, maybe it was because I stopped buying from Jelly Belly. Because at one point, I don't know if this is still the case, but at one point they had a very transphobic CEO. So I stopped purchasing from them. They also still sell the franchise that shall not be named merch, so. Okay, I think that's good. And I will take a sippy and do a stretchy, and then I will take a little break because BP has declared it. Okay, here's a sippy. I'm doing a stretchy, and I'll do a big stretchy when I get up too, because that's usually what I do. But I am going to take a break, which means I'm going to run some ads. Don't look at them. I still get, the half a cent if you don't look at them. You can take a break with me, or, I don't know, do something else. Whatever you want to do. But you could get up and get a little drinky or snacky, or you could do a stretch with me, run to the bathroom. I would definitely suggest you look at something that's farther away from your face than your screen, because it's good for your little eyeballs. And then we will meet back here, okay? back. You're at least back from ads, but maybe not back from your break. Ah, that's so fair, Bean. I know we're all like going through it. Unfortunately, capitalism continues to attack us all. I'm noticing that there's a higher highlight in a couple of places on ears, and I think ears, singular, one ear. I don't know why I said plural. I'm gonna pull some of the pigment up. Does it really? That's wild, Bean. There's like a little highlight right here. Actually, let me use a smaller brush for that. Yeah, I decided not to get the Switch 2. My dad offered to pre-order me and my brother some if we wanted it, but it's really expensive, and I use my Steam Deck way more already than I use my Switch, and I wanted to wait and see if they fixed the Joy-Con drift issue, which it looks like they haven't. It's the exact same Joy-Con I don't know, tech layout, whatever you want to call it, in the Switch 2, which means that I would end up buying like 6 million copies of Joy-Cons like I did for my Switch 1. If I'm gonna pay that much for a thing, I want it to like actually work. That's totally fair, Tens. Yeah, I really like my Steam Deck. It works really well. It is like heavier than the Switch, but the handles like on the controls are a lot more ergonomic, so it doesn't make my wrist hurt as bad. Yeah, exactly, Tens. That's a big reason why I wanted a Steam Deck, was because one, a lot of indie games, if they get released on Switch, are just a poorer version, because porting them over takes a lot of effort, and you find more bugs, and a lot of times those bugs don't get fixed, simply because indie studios just don't have enough time to fix everything. That's perfectly valid. I'm not judging them for that. But I also have a Mac, which means that a lot of indie games are only available on Windows, so I can't play them without having to run a skin, which I don't want to. It's a lot of work, and I just don't want to. So having a Steam Deck means that I can play a bunch of these games that weren't accessible to me before, and Steam has a way better return policy. And I got burned really bad by cassette beasts on Switch, because I did check and make sure that the accessibility option that I needed was available in the game. And it didn't work for over a year after the release of the game. And I couldn't return it. Because Nintendo's eShop policies are like archaic at this point. So I definitely like the Steam Deck a lot more. Okay, that ear looks a lot better with those highlights added. I like that better. What else am I doing? What do I want to do? Who am I? Where are we? What's happening? I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a wash over the fur before I did the beans or after I did the beans. I think maybe before is the call. I also need to decide what color I'm doing the wash. To try and keep some of the texture of these like fur lines we've got underneath, but smooth them out a little bit so that it doesn't feel as intense. Which I think probably just the color I was using before. Washes are scary because like you can get them on there and it can ruin everything and then you can't really backtrack it very well. um, so we'll see how this goes. I do think I'm going to clean my palette up just a little bit before I do that, just to get some of these mixed colors off. Yeah, I think the only like quote unquote big company game I've bought lately has been Fantasy Life. Which I'm just silly. This isn't anybody's fault, but I legitimately did not realize that it was going to be on Steam too, or I would have gotten it on Steam. I just automatically assumed that it was going to be a Nintendo exclusive like the last one was. So I might end up double buying it. Even though I didn't particularly enjoy the story, but I do really like the game itself. Like, there's so much more to do than just the story that, like, that doesn't worry me that much. And I'm a notorious double buyer, so. If I like something, especially with indie games, I have probably purchased for myself or as a gift 30 copies of The Last Campfire. Because it's a really good game and everybody should play it. It also goes on sale for super duper cheap. So I just keep buying them and giving them away. But I've double bought like a lot of indie games for Steam Deck and Switch. Like I Am Dead, that's another one I really like a lot. It's a very sweet game. I think do the wash, and then I think there's some highlights on the schnoz here for the I don't know what those are called, the whisker holes, whisker pores. I don't know, but I think I can heal up, and I think that will help me feel better about the spot here. I do also think I need to do a little bit of shading right through here. But I think I can do that after the wash, and it'll be fine. We do still need to add whiskers as well. That's going to be like a final stage situation, because using white for the whiskers here is going to be white ink, which is water soluble, so if I try to paint over it, it's just going to make a mess. And they also work a little bit more on where the nose is. I extended the nose a little bit. I think I need to cut that back. But not like fully cut it back, just make the actual nose tip darker. Okay. I've said 35,000 things that we need to do with this. I'm gonna forget at least 90% of them as we move forward. But if I forget them, then they weren't that important to do in the first place. Honestly. But for now, we do a wash and we see how that goes. I do really like sorry, I'm going to go back to the previous topic. I do really like Tomodachi Life, but I'll probably not buy the new one until it's out for a little bit to see what the vibes are. Because I guess the short answer here is if I can't be gay, I don't want to buy it. Because Nintendo does have a lot of very like old school practices. That being one of them, where they aren't always good about gender or sexuality stuff. Well, I'll wait and see what everybody thinks, probably, because I am not like chomping at the bit to play it or anything. I did like restart up Tomodachi Island on my 3DS a little bit ago, and I played that for a little bit and then stopped. But yeah, I do have not a Nintendo brand Pro Controller, but I do have one. Oh, are they? That's good. I like that. Yeah, I don't pay a super amount of attention to Nintendo anymore. Like, after the cassette-based thing, I just kind of decided I was done. Because that was beyond frustrating to me for a number of reasons. But do they still have? Well, I guess the Mii's kind of weren't always super gendered because the body type wasn't really a major thing. But like, for instance, for Fantasy Life, the options were like basically their feminine body style, their masculine body style, and then there was a third option for the kind of underwear that you wore was how they decided to implant your gender. So there was, I forget what the masculine one was called, but it was whatever the masculine was, maidenly for women, and then mysterious for your third option. Which, like, that is better than what there was, but you're still basically giving us the same options and putting just like a different label on them, you know? So, like, if you say, same with Animal Crossing, if you say pick a style and you still only have the two options that were masculine and feminine, that's not actually real progress. Like, it is good to not have the, like, statement, but it doesn't mean that, like, you didn't put any effort into actually making people who are not bi-gendered, like, feel more comfortable. You were just like, we're just gonna make half a show of this so that we can say we did it. You know? Yeah, it is a start, for sure. But I feel like it's... I don't know. It's not enough. It's very, like, corporate pride. Target removing all of their DEI stuff about protections for queer people and then still selling pride merch kind of a thing, you know? It feels very, very bad corporate. Yeah, for sure. There's, like, obviously a lot of other stuff that goes into play with that, but it's just something that's irked me. Because, like, that happened with Animal Crossing too, where people are like, they got rid of gender. They didn't get rid of gender. They just removed the name for the same body types. Like, like, yes, it is progress, but we should be doing better at this point. And, like, plenty of indie games have done a lot better than that. So the fact that a big corporation can't get their heads out of their asses for more than 5 minutes to actually, you know, make a statement about something that's inclusive is... I'm not gonna bring out the confetti and shit for it, you know? Just actually make a real effort. And then I will celebrate with you, you know? Yeah, and that isn't to say that it isn't, like, better, or it isn't good, or, you know, it isn't appreciated by people who do want to be more genderless, but, like, you make millions and millions of dollars, you can do better than that. Yeah, and way later than any other company did for Nintendo, honestly. Nintendo is, like, they have always been a company with very traditional values, and because of that, they are way behind the market anymore. And yeah, Nintendo is greedy. They have always been greedy. Um, and very litigious about it. They, they sure do love to sue people. But yeah, I've just kind of like, for multiple reasons, excuse me, I'm just like over Nintendo. Actually, I think I've talked about this on stream before, but I've also decided I'm not buying any more Pokemon games after Scarlet Violet. Because it was shit. Like, it was poorly coded. It was poorly optimized. And it gave me migraines because they wouldn't fix their lighting issues. And Game Freak has repeatedly proven to me that they do not give a shit at all about accessibility. They regularly have some sort of special thing. So, for instance, in Sun and Moon, the first one, not Ultra, they had a trial where you had to listen to what was being said. Well, what was being played in the game. Which meant that that trial was impossible for people with hearing issues. They once again, like, they backtracked that in Ultra because so many people complained about it. But then in Scarlet Violet, if you're doing the group challenges in the terrarium at the Blueberry Academy, one of them is catch this specific Pokemon, and each person in your party gets hints. And one of the hints you can get is the cry. Which again, with no other information, that just cuts out every single person who has hearing issues. So they clearly learned jack shit from the first time that was an issue. And they never have accessibility options in the game, which drives me fucking nuts. Oh yeah, totally fair, Shawnee. Yeah, them adding the link cable as an evolution option in that was very cool. But again, Game Freak regularly gives us something really good for quality of life and then just drops it for the next generation. Like, I do like Pokemon, but, like, you could do so much better. And yeah, exactly, Bean. I've seen a lot of videos of people showing, oh, look at how good this runs on Switch too. Okay, so you should have optimized the game for the console you had available then. Why did you make this so intense that we had to wait like 4 years for a console that could actually run it? Like, that's just shitty business. I'm not going to be super impressed with your game if I have to buy another multi-$100 product in order for it to run properly. That's a you problem, buddy. That means you didn't do well on your game. Oh, 100% Bean. They've clearly been, like, crunching things like crazy at Game Freak, for sure. Like, they had way too much stuff come out too fast. And, their entire product line suffered for it. And lost my business. Yeah, and not only did, like, they did Scarlet Violet, they also dropped Arceus, like, right there. They also dropped Diamond Pearl, the remakes, like, right there, even though it was a different company. They dropped, like, a bunch of these games, like, back to back to back to back to back. And it was like, can you let your team have a nap at some point in here? Maybe? Like, everybody chill. Yeah, fair. I can understand why people like that. I never finished Arceus, actually. I never finished the story. Because I don't like... I was always calling it Bloodborne Kids Bop. Because it was just kind of like a dumbed-down Bloodborne boss style. And I don't like that. So I have defeated exactly one of the boss Pokemon in Arceus. And I mostly have been going around trying, well, when I was still playing it, I haven't played it in ages. I was going around getting my star level up. So I have beat exactly one boss, and I am an 8-star level player on my little card in that game. I don't like it. See, I'm not big in Kirby either. In general, I don't like combat games or things where I have to have quick reaction times because it stresses me the fuck out. And Fantasy Life is like an exception to that because you really can just spam the same button repeatedly and it's fine when you're doing combat. And then the like crafting life is really just like a rhythm game, so I can manage that without freaking out. But if I have to like do quick reaction times with battle stuff, I tend to have panic attacks. Okay, I wanted to mess with the highlights here a little bit and then change a couple of the things around the nose and the mouth area. I do really like Kirby, and I like watching other people play Kirby. That's one of the reasons that I really like Twitch. Is because even if there are games that I really enjoy the vibes of, and I can't play because of whatever reason, like if it gives me a headache, which is pretty common, or if it requires reaction times that stress me out, I can watch somebody else do that and still enjoy the experience of the game without like pushing myself too far, you know? Oh my gosh, yes please, Bean, I love that. So like, I absolutely love the BioShock games. I cannot play the BioShock games. But I really love this story. And like, I will watch people play that for ages. Yeah, it was fun to watch Matto play Kirby for sure. Ah, sure, Bean. Yeah, I was always that person whoever I was dating, had to play video games for me. I also bullied everybody I've ever dated into reading for me. I say bullied, asked politely with sad little puppy eyes. But what game series was that with Ben? The Uncharted series, that's what it was. When it first came out, I didn't let my boyfriend play that when I was not there to watch. He had to wait for me to be there to continue playing. Because it really has like a lot of story, so if you played it without me, I would have missed something. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee, exactly. Actually, speaking of that, I should ask Cap if he's watched any more One Piece so I can get a catch up. I have played Mario Party, but I can't play a lot of it because eventually it does really stress me out. I also have some weird stuff around competitive games. I don't like competition as much as like co-op games. Like I just don't enjoy it as much. And I think part of that is because I came from a very, very competitive family. So games were not about having fun together. Games were about winning. I don't always enjoy that very much. There is actually, I should look into this again. There was an indie game, puzzle co-op game that I was really interested in, but it wasn't clear if the game had distance co-op or not. I should look at that again and see. It's called Blanc. like White in French, not Blanc, the streamer, who is also cool and who you should check out. But I should see that because I have a boyfriend who games with me now, so maybe he would play that with me. If I can. Actually, I'm going to be spending like time with him in person, so maybe if it doesn't have distance co-op, we could actually play it while I'm visiting him. Yes, exactly, Shawnee. Like, I'm very much that I hope we all make it billboard. Yes. I do think that I need to figure this out. There's something weird here that there's something different here that I'm not capturing, I think. Let me switch over here too. Okay, maybe I'm back. Perhaps. Well, my laptop hasn't done that in a while. That does not instill confidence. That would load properly. That would be good. Okay, Sari's back, so that means that I'm back probably. If you're on mobile, you probably need to refresh. All right. It's probably just... You probably can't hear me. Put that away. Let's see. Let me open this and see what else is being a problem. Okay, that's correct, that's correct. That, I'm not sure what it is or why it's so high up. It looks like it did try to install something when it shut down, which is probably part of the issue. It's probably installing something in the background. Because there straight up is not a way to turn off auto updates for the Logitech software. So that might be part of the issue. It does look like it's running something in the background that's making things worse, and I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, this. What are you, friend? Let's figure that out. Because you are taking up way more of my CPU than you should be. Let me see here. OBS is also taking up more CPU than it usually does. Have we leveled out a little on the buffering? Or is it still being an issue? OBS does say that I'm not dropping any frames, which says to me that it's a laptop issue. My bitrate looks okay so far. Okay. It's usually a little slow, like right when it starts back up, so it'll buffer a little bit, but I wanted to get back, like, at least showing as live as soon as possible. So I will definitely... Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. We should be okay. We'll see. If my laptop resets itself again, I probably won't come back. I will put a message in chat if that's what happens. But I probably need, there's this, okay, so you can't reset the heat sensing stuff in your Mac with, like, in the actual options screen or anything. You have to do a special shutdown routine, and I haven't done that in a little bit, so I probably need to do that. That will probably help in the future. I will make sure to do that. I think maybe part of it too is that, yeah, I probably won't push it much longer, honestly, because that makes me nervy. But I think part of it is going, I can't delete that right now or it's going to completely shut down OBS. Don't do that. But it does keep trying to, like, there's an issue with OBS at the moment where it wasn't letting me change a specific capture, and I can't delete it without, if I try to delete anything on any screen, my OBS crashes. I have to run it in safe mode in order to delete anything off of any of my my layouts, which is great. That's super fun. But the wheel capture that I didn't delete because I would have had to be running it in safe mode, still tries to capture. Yeah, see, it's doing it now, and I think that's part of the issue. Because I need, anytime I like change scenes or something, I need to make it stop sharing. So I think I was gonna keep that there until the tipathon, just so that I don't have to set it back up, but maybe that's not the right option. It's also just like Macs weren't made to do this. My girl is working harder than she needs to, than she should for this. Yeah, it does look like the Logitech software updated, so that's going to be part of it. One day I'll have a computer that actually does this properly. Okay, but we seem to be stable now, so I'm gonna stop freaking out about it, if that's possible for me. And we will work a little bit more and then we'll see how it goes. I can probably close this software down just to make that a little bit easier on my CPU. Okay, all of the other stuff that was being weird has mostly dropped down. OBS is still using more CPU than normal, but backing vaguely. That's the bastard. Okay, I know what happened. Okay. It's because it was updating something to the cloud even though I told it not to. That's what was happening. Okay, but that has stopped doing that, so we should be okay now. The cloud service stuff, like, sometimes it just goes even though it doesn't need to, and like uses up so much CPU that it kills my computer. Which is great. We love that. It's super helpful, right? Okay, but we'll see if this is okay. I guess my laptop did reset itself yesterday, but that was because I was lurking in multiple streams, which is always an issue. So yeah, pretty much. Like okay, this is so stupid because Macs are stupid. Just gonna say that. I am a Mac user. I have been for over a decade, but it's gotten worse. Because enshittification is real. But there's a bunch of auto things that run in the background, and anytime you turn off your computer and turn it back on, they will automatically start running. So you have to, if you don't want those things to run, because they aren't things that need to run, they're just things that are running, You have to go into the command screen and actually run end commands to keep them from running and starting up on their own, even if they're things that you don't use. So I get to do that every time my laptop resets. I just have like a copy paste file that I do because it's such a common issue. But it looks like maybe I need to kill Cloud too on my laptop to keep it running correctly. Because, like, I haven't added any files or anything. And it's still, my laptop is still pretty hot. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. Yeah, pretty much, Shawnee. And as Mac has enshittified, it's gotten even more difficult to change anything on it. So you have to have like a bunch of workarounds and shit. And this laptop specifically was a gift, and I'm grateful that I have it, but I need a better computer. But in order to have a setup computer, I need to have space to set it up in, and to do that, I need to put flooring in the downstairs room that I'm going to use as a studio, which costs money. So it's I don't know. It's the crux of a lot of issues, which is frustrating. But you know, we stay silly. That's the biggest stressor in my life today. I'll take it, honestly, because I've had plenty of other shit to stress out about lately. Okay.
Capitalism sucks.
Capitalism does suck. I think we're gonna start working on the beans. If my laptop resets again, I'm gonna stop painting, and I will see you guys again on Monday afternoon.
To the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism.
Yeah, there was one stream that was constantly making my laptop reset, even if I was lurking. And I did pop into that one for a while the other day, and I'm wondering if that's part of the issue, honestly. Because I haven't had a forced reset until yesterday, in multiple months. So I'm wondering if that's part of it. Or maybe it's just a piece of shit. It be like that, you know. Okay. I bought a new pink with the express purpose that it would be really nice to use on the beans. I am going to keep them pretty bright pink, but I do have this color that's specifically called Potter's Pink to do some of the shading with. And maybe do a wash over it too, I don't know, to tone it down just a little bit. I just needed this, the base color here is Opera Pink, which is very intense. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes it is too much. But it will be really good for this, I think. I think it'll be a good addition to my kit in general. Because, like, I can tone down the Opera Pink a little with, like, mixing other colors in, but it still is, like, real pink, you know? I don't even remember what I was talking about when my laptop reset. I only noticed because the music stopped and I was like, oh, wait. So I probably kept talking when you guys couldn't even hear me. But this is the first time that my laptop reset and it asked me to send in an error report, which I did. But so that's new. I don't know that I like it, but that's new. It may be that I've stressed this laptop out so much that every heat thing in it is just about to blow. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, we're a little chunky, but not super bad. Oh, it's pretty hot though. Hotter than I've felt it in a while. I think I'll get like the first shading pass on the beans done, and then we'll probably go raid Sleepy. If they're still going, which they usually stream like a fair amount longer than me. So. Oh, hey Trisha, good to see you. How you holding up? I know it's super busy season for you, although you've been pretty busy constantly, so. My laptop just reset itself a little bit ago, so if I disappear suddenly, it's my laptop dying again. Hey Cam, good to see you. If we could get shout outs for both Trisha and Cam, that would be great. I can also do it in a second if you guys are busy. Yeah, good. I'm glad, Trisha. Because you were definitely burning the candle at six ends for a while there. Oh man, Cam. I guess you needed the rest though, so good on you for getting it. It is kind of like the season for taking really long afternoon naps too, honestly. But you don't gotta deal with the heat. Yeah, otter. So this is a river otter based off of a picture that I actually took, and I will show you. This is what we're working on. So this is a photo I took ages ago at the Alaska Zoo here. And I have like changed the colors pretty drastically. But yeah, I'm glad you got some rest. For sure. Yeah, actually here. I do have a Flickr. I haven't taken photos for like a while. But that's all my old stuff that you can see if you want to look. I do have a lot of like Alaska photos back from when my dad was paying for us to be a tourist around the state, basically. So yeah, I think it's just sleepy season, honestly. Because I have also been pretty sleepy. Although, I guess I lost an organ, so I probably have a better excuse. Like, I did literally have major surgery a month ago, so yeah, that might be part of it. But I do think that summer sleepies is a real thing. I'm excited to get the all clear for my internal stitches because I'm tired of worrying about it. Yeah. In case anybody doesn't know, I've talked about it on stream a fair amount, but I know we get people popping in and out. I had a hysterectomy May 14th. So I yeeted that yeet. And I got an official diagnosis for why my periods sucked so bad. And now I never have to deal with it again. I never have to buy another tampon unless I'm stocking my bathroom for guests, and it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. I think I kind of want to smooth these out a little bit. That is a pretty harsh line, and I'm not vibing with it. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's great. So I've been telling you guys that I've been reading that book about CPTSD. Actually, one of the little factoids in the section that I read last night was that women who have gone through childhood trauma are 80% more likely to have endometriosis. Isn't that wild? That's a huge increase. And especially since endometriosis is very underdiagnosed. That means 80% of the women who finally convince their doctors to listen to them, and who also disclose the fact that they had childhood trauma. So that number is going to be a lot more than what the research says, because it's going to be mostly self-reporting. Yeah, isn't that wild? I read that and I was like, oh, huh. Well, it's wild how intensely childhood trauma affects your body. Like, I also read, which, the author apparently is not the best person in the world, but the Body Keeps Score is kind of like the PTSD handbook about what it does to your body, and because the guy who wrote it did a lot of research, and like that's his focus. But he also apparently is kind of an asshole to people who work under him, so take that as you will. But it is really crazy how deeply that affects, like, how your brain functions, how your body functions. Wild. It's definitely one of those things where, like, I started reading it and I was like, oh, repeatedly. It's a tough read, Trish, honestly, because he uses a lot of examples from his patients, so it's a very triggering book, I think. So you have to go in, like, when you're prepared for that, which isn't always the case, you know? It's hard to be properly prepared for that. The book I'm reading now is an easier read. It still has some triggering stuff, but I think, from what I know about you specifically, I don't think it would be as triggering for you as Body Keeps Score. But What My Bones Know is the one I'm reading right now by Stephanie Foo, Foo. It should be on my Goodreads too, because we're Goodreads friends. I think it's set to show that. But that one, I've been talking about it, and it is, like, I think it's much better balanced because the author is a journalist, so she balances, like, the hard parts with humor, and it makes it a lot easier to read, in, like, a mental state kind of way. And, like, clearly it has a quote-unquote happy ending because she's writing the book, right? Which definitely changes how you look at it. Yeah, I've been reading it. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm going to finish it this weekend. But it's probably one that I'm rating 5 stars on Goodreads. Because, like, not only was it an interesting read, it was enjoyably written, even for a difficult topic, and I've found it helpful. I did end up... and this is not the author's fault at all, but she was talking about a specific kind of therapy that she had done, and I started thinking about it too hard, and I definitely triggered myself about it. Because I was like, okay, if I was doing this for my trauma, this is how I would do that technique, and I was like, oh, I don't feel so hot. Whoops. Because I was, like, reading it before bed, which is usually fine, but I, like, thought about it too hard and was like, ugh. Again, not the author's fault at all. That is totally on me. But yeah, I would suggest that one for sure. I've found it very interesting. Yeah, it was like, and she was specifically talking about how you really need a therapist to do that technique. And so I was like, let's think about it really hard without a therapist to help us. Like, way to go, Katie. That was not a good call. Yeah. I have legitimately been doing a lot better mentally than I have before. We continue to grow and be better, which is good. Because, I don't know, there's something about like working on healing where it feels really stagnant a lot of the time. Because if you have done, I don't know, I was going to say your homework, but that's not quite right. If you have already done the work of getting yourself out of the quagmire, you don't have as many triggering situations, so you don't realize how much better your toolbox is. And I had something happen this week that triggered me, and I handled it. I was fine. I got over it in a day. Like, I was triggered. I knew what was happening. I did all of my little things, and I felt better. And that was it. And that was fine. Which, like, something like that, I had a similar situation happen a long time ago, which was part of the reason why it was triggering, that I didn't get over for 3 months. I had regular panic attacks for 3 months trying to deal with it. So seeing that difference, it's like, oh shit, I have actually been doing a lot better, and all these little things that I've been doing to try to make my brain better are working really well. Like, all right, we get a little gold star there. Ooh, excellent, Trish. Yeah, I've since the last time we talked, I think I've been on 2 different antidepressants. Safe travels, Tens. Thank you, Shawnee. But now we're upping the dosage of my one, because the other one that I was on gave me side effects that I don't want to live with. So, like, if I can avoid doing that, I would rather avoid doing that.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. So that's been working really well. I think I told you guys last time that so right now I'm on generic Wellbutrin, just in case anybody is wondering, which is also assigned or prescribed off-label for ADHD and weight loss, but I haven't had an issue with that so much. But I'm taking like a dose in the morning and a dose in the evening. And my doctor was like, well, you could take both doses in the morning if you want to. And I tried that the other day and it was awful and I hated it. It was one of those things where, like, you know, when like you're too alert and you can hear a fly buzzing in the next room kind of vibe? It was like that. There's this one episode of King of the Hill where Luann takes Bobby's Ritalin or something like that. And it very much was like that, where they were both like sitting in the kitchen and Bobby goes, the milk just went bad. And it really felt like that. It was just like, I can see everything and everything all at once, and I'm dying right now. So I don't think we'll be doing that again. Like, maybe I would get used to it if I did that regularly, but I don't think I want to find out. Thanks. I'll stick with the 2 times, because that seems to be working better for me. That's just fine. Yeah, it was really like, I don't know, spider senses, but it's similar actually to back before they removed all of the actual Sudafed and cold medicine, but it's very similar to how I felt when I would take Sudafed nasal decongestants when I was a teenager, which again is probably a sign that I had ADHD and nobody was like, hey, buddy, you might have the brain weirds. But that's very much what it felt like, where I would, if I took them, like if it was bad enough that I took them because I avoided them because of this feeling, I would sit in the chair with my knees held to my chest, rocking back and forth until they wore off. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, Trish. Yeah, definitely, like, what's the right way to phrase this? Like, working down the queue of issues, you know? I feel that. It's always weird when you start getting out of crisis, because, like, you don't realize how intense something has been until it's removed. Which was definitely my case when they started putting me on SSRIs, which is the one that I want to avoid going back on. Because I was like, oh, I can just get out of bed in the morning. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to work at it. Is this how it is for literally anybody else? Is this how neurotypicals get out of bed in the morning? They just decide to get out of bed, and then they're out of bed. They don't have to, like, convince themselves and have a routine in order to corner themselves into getting out of bed. Well, shit. I have actually been running my entire life with 65-pound chains attached to each leg. Holy shit. It's wild. But yeah, I'm really glad you're starting to get help, Trish, and taking better care of yourself for sure. And it is really nice to hear from you. Okay, I think those beans are starting to look better. I am making them like way pinker than they are because it's cute and I like it and it's my art and I make the rules. I do also really think that it's like the focal point of the painting and the photo. So if I make the colors stand out in a way that like the color isn't used elsewhere, I think that it's like, yes, this is the part you're supposed to look at. Look at his little paw. Look at it. Okay. How you holding up, laptop? You're feeling less hot than you were, so maybe we're chilling out now. I guess I have started streaming more too. I've been doing 3 days a week instead of 2 now. So that might also be harder on my laptop. I'm trying to this is what I do when my brain is being awful too. I want to find one single reason so that I can fix it, but that isn't how shit works. If I can just find the one reason to fix, then I can fix it, you know? Oh, yeah, that's great, Trisha. I'm so happy for you. I hope the SSRI goes well. When I started mine, I got really dizzy for a few days, whenever I took it. I got really dizzy 45 minutes after, to the point that I was planning when I was taking it, I was working. Okay, make a full sentence, Katie. Start at the beginning of the thought. I was planning my entire day to do anything I needed to go up and down the stairs before I took my SSRI because it made me so dizzy. Which is wild. And like it affects everybody differently. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh boy, that just slapped me in the face. And I'm not taking that one. I'm just on the Wellbutrin right now, which is definitely different because it targets dopamine instead of serotonin. But it definitely makes things better. I got it from my gynecologist who also did the hysterectomy for me because to go down the list of issues to the point where my insurance would actually pay for that, we had to deal with my PMDD first. But this doctor has been absolutely great. I've talked about it a lot. She like listens to me and believes me, which shouldn't be a high bar for a doctor, but it sure is. Like, because I'm very much the kind of person who does my own research about stuff. Like, I'm curious about the world around me and myself, and I would like to learn more. And a lot of doctors find that really threatening, weirdly. But my doctor was just like, oh, you've already done the research, you know this. I will write you a prescription. And I was like, it's that easy? Wow. Oh, yeah, Trisha. A lot of times, and this is like a well-documented thing with ADHD and anxiety, you'll get really drowsy on the meds at first because it's actually like taking your brain to neurotypical base level. And so you're like, it's kind of similar to the thing where when you're with your like really safe person, you get sleepy and start yawning, where it's just like your brain's like, oh, we're safe. And so you get really drowsy until you get used to it. Yeah, that's super common. But the fact that, so when I was on generic Lexapro, was the SSRI I tried. Yeah, that's super normal, Trish. But that's a good sign for you, because when I was taking Lexapro, I tried it at night at first just because I have a more established routine at night than I do for in the morning. And I could not sleep. I straight up did not sleep. So I was like, I tried that for like 3 days and I was like, we can't keep doing this. We're taking this in the morning. Yeah, it's one of the ones that, because you know me, I researched it once I was prescribed it. It's one of the ones that has the least common side effects. So most people don't have big issues when they're taking it. So it has a lot less side effects than like other ones that you can take. So like lithium, for instance, and stuff like that. It also, because it's been around, it's not as expensive anymore. So that helps too, especially when you're prescribing. For me, I'm on Medicaid, so that's definitely part of the reason why that was the one we went with, my doctor and I. But yeah. But the reason I started taking Wellbutrin is because I don't need to really get into it on stream, but if you guys are super curious, I'll give you some TMI. But there's a very common side effect with Lexapro that Wellbutrin is prescribed with it to help ease. And that's how I ended up just taking the Wellbutrin, because I researched it, the side effect that I was having. And so I went into my doctor and I said, oh, I see that this is often prescribed with it in order to help this issue I've been having. And instead of like, I don't know, giving me an interrogation, my doctor was just like, oh, I'll write you a prescription. It was just like, sweet, thanks. And it turns out that just the Wellbutrin works pretty well for me. We're upping the dose a little bit to see if that helps more. But specifically with the PMDD is the issue I've been having. But yeah. So if you have a lot of side effects, you might also end up on the same cocktail I did. Yeah, my doctor's really good. There's I sent this to Doodle the other day too, but there's a big Google Sheets list of doctors who will sterilize you. Raspberry, it's so good to see you. I don't know why I called you Raspberry. I always call you Usagi. What's going on with me? I'm distracted. That's what it is. Also, I just tend to say the first part of people's usernames, I guess. What was I saying? Oh, there's this huge Google sheet list of, oh yeah, maybe Usagi. But there's this huge Google sheet of doctors who will actually listen to you if you want tubal litigation. So if you want to get sterilized, there's like doctors in every state who will actually like listen to you and not ask you about your husband or something. And she was on one of those lists, and then I was also recommended her by Planned Parenthood when I said that I wanted to get sterilized. So I'm very pleased that I found her. And she will definitely be my usual now because she like straight up listens to me. Because when I went in for my first appointment, and I specifically said I wanted to get a hysterectomy when I made the appointment, I was ready. I was prepared. I had like 2 years of journals with me to prove that my PMDD was this bad because I've done mood tracking the entire time. I had a list of like dates and relationships that had been affected by my PMDD. I had every single one of my to-do lists that showed how much my productivity dropped when I was on my period because of how bad my cramps were. Like I was ready. I was ready to like go through all of these things to be like, yes, this is really happening to me. And I didn't need to prove it at all. I just said it and she was like, cool. And asked a couple of follow-up questions about like how bad certain things were. And that was it. And I was like, oh, man, I was prepared to like fight. But nope, she actually listened to me. It was great. She's fantastic. Yeah. I can send you that Google Doc too, Trisha, if you're interested. Because I think I saved it so that I could send it to more people. But it has a bunch, and it has, one of the good things about it is it has notes for people who are queer friendly, which is part of the reason I sent it to Doodle. Here, I will drop you that list. Because, like, even if you don't really need it, it's kind of a nice thing to have to hand out, too. But yeah, it was great. My doctor is fabulous. She's definitely my usual now. Because I'm pretty sure the gynecologist that I did have retired. She was pretty old when I started going to her. But she definitely was, like, the kind of person who was like, well, you're pretty young, let's wait a little bit and see what you think. And I was like, I know my own brain, please, woman. She at least didn't ask me about like a boyfriend or anything, because she was old school hippie feminist, you know. But anyways, frustrating. Yeah, that's fair. It is like a nightmare, especially with the way things are going now, gestures at the state of the United States. That was actually the reason that I decided to keep my ovaries instead of getting a full removal. Is because like I was raw dogging PMDD for all of my life. I know for a fact that I can handle that. I cannot magically start making hormone replacement therapy to keep my bones from disintegrating. I can't will myself into that. So, and judging by the way things are going, I definitely made the right call there. Which is bullshit that it has to be like that, but you know. I think I need to bring that shadow in a little bit more. Chunky chonky. My laptop already reset itself once this stream, so I'm a little more. It's not paranoia because it is actually based in reality, but I'm a little more watchful of it at the moment. Okay, I think those beans are at a pretty good spot. I do want to let everything dry more since we did work on the otter a bit today before I peel the masking fluid up so that it doesn't damage the paper so badly. So I think this is a good stopping spot for today. And I will be back again on Monday afternoon. And hopefully by then I will have a list of goals and stuff ready and a graphic ready for the Tipathon on the 23rd. Because it's my affiliate anniversary, which is really close to my stream anniversary. Hi again, Grim. I will do a stretchy. And I will do a hydrate. I'm wondering if the reason that stretchy takes so long is because I didn't make the right length in seconds.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking compliment?
Okay, sippy and stretchy accomplished. Nice thing, it can be related to this super long discussion we were having where I am very knowledgeable about the things that are wrong with me. I mean that in an affectionate way. But I'm really knowledgeable about like childhood trauma and PTSD and hysterectomy and all that kind of stuff, and I help other people with that information. And I'm proud of myself for doing that. So there you go. So hopefully I will have those graphics done next time we talk. If not, I will hopefully have all of my mushrooms done by the next time we talk. Yeah. Grim is in Death Hotland. How are you doing, laptop? If I open somebody else's stream, are you gonna explode? Maybe, we'll find out. My bitrate is kind of bouncing around. Yeah, of course, Trisha. And I think you already know this, but feel free to DM me about literally anything. Even if it's just to like, be like, wah, I'm having to adjust to this kind of a thing. I am open to hearing from you whenever about any sort of thing. Yeah, 105 is too hot. I don't like that. Why did I have this open? This is what I was doing. The laptop shut down really messed with my brain. my whole... Oh, I don't need to do it that way. I have a thing. Mute the tab first, though. You guys get to hear every single thought I'm having. That's how today is going. Which, I mean, if you didn't want to hear my thoughts, you wouldn't be here. So, it's all good. Let me switch over to the ending screen because that is what is happening right now. Do I have anything else super important to say right now? I don't know that I do. I don't think I have any big announcements. I do still have the sale going on in my shop for the rest of the month. So if you need to stock up on some stickies, snag it. Also, I will give you a little preview for those of you in stream. If there are any of my Pride original paintings that you want, buy them now. Because they're getting taken down so that I can do giveaways with them. So if there's one you desperately need, you should get it now. Or message me and tell me your intention, and I will not do a giveaway for that one. I'm willing to hold it for people that I know and trust. So just let me know. But I'm thinking those have been around for a while, and I think they'll be good giveaways for Pride Month. Hi, Crispin! It's good to see you. We're about to raid out to my friend Sleepy. You guys, if you don't know Sleepy, Sleepy is a delight. Sleepy is like legit one of my best friends at this point. I'm actually going to be visiting Sleepy on the way to visit my boyfriend at the end of July. Well, Sleepy and their partner Tomato, both of them. And I was actually late to stream this morning because I was talking to Sleepy and I lost track of time. So Sleepy is a good friendo, and funny and sweet and nice and just a general delight. And I know that Sleepy often goes back to see what people have said about them before they rate it in. So if you're doing that, hi Sleepy, I love you. So we can all go over there together. Shawnee has posted the rate commands in chat. The first one has emoji that you can use anywhere on Twitch, no matter if you're subscribed to me or not. The second one has an emote that you can use if you are subscribed to my channel. So please copy and pasta the one that is relevant to you if you'll be coming with us. Sleepy is doing a nice little cozy game, I think. So it'll be nice vibes. Sleepy always has nice vibes, and it's also very funny. So good place to hang out. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being nice to me. Thanks for just, chatting and chilling and putting up with my freaking laptop being annoying. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved because I love you. And if you can't take care of or be kind to yourself for yourself, please do so for me, because I think that you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's really hard. So let's all work on growing and being better to ourselves, and then we can meet up back here and talk about our victories or, get a little top up on the love. All right? I will be back Monday afternoon, and I will see you all then. Okay, bye.